You got to really hit it. There you go. All right. It looks like we are live. Thank you so much for joining us on Sunday service with the Morrisons. This is my husband, David. I'm Tammi Morrison, and we are here for Sunday service, and we want to talk about failing to plan is planning to fail. So one of the things that we wanted to share about was that in life, you need to begin to plan as soon as possible. And if you don't plan, then there are repercussions regarding that. I'm going to share scripture. Proverbs 16:9 says, "The human mind plans the way, but the Lord directs the steps." So as we grow, we must learn how to listen to direction from our source and to take the inspired action. Because what happens many times is we get downloads, we get direction from the spirit, and we don't take any action, and we wonder why things aren't progressing like we want them to. And 2 Peter 3:10 says, "But the day of the Lord will come as unexpectedly as a thief. Then the heavens will pass away with a terrible noise, and the very elements themselves will disappear in fire, and the earth and everything on it will be found to deserve judgment." So those are examples of when you how you should take direction and how you should begin to plan. Baby.
Planning is important because many of us, like Tammy said, put it off. We delay or what have you. I believe my life planning started early because of my commitment to the military service at 17. The first in-depth plan I can remember is signing my first will and testament at the age of 17. It's something you have to do before you go into battle, go into combat, what have you, and enjoying the military service. My mother signed me in at that age. And thereafter, a lot of people around me didn't do a lot of planning as far as it goes, as far as investments. I didn't plan to stay in the military until retirement. However, I did. And one of the things I did to help prepare me really well is I started investing at a really reasonable amount by the age of 21. An investment at that age of a medium or small sort thereof will get you at retirement age, which is in military for me was 37. 1 point something million dollars, which is nothing even to frown at today. You can be well on your way, or you can be like people, like a lot of my buddies who didn't plan, would do things like constantly every year talk about what they was going to do when they got up and never planned for it. One of the individuals who was my friend from New York, he was even found wanting to get out so bad. One of my buddies seen him sleeping on a bench in Central Park, and it wasn't for leisure or luxury. It was failure to plan.
Let me say happy birthday to Chinga. I think it's Chinga to Madre. Happy birthday. Thank you for watching. Go ahead, baby.
No, she just broke my thoughts. So happy birthday to you, and I'll let Tammy take it.
So, in that instance, because he wanted to get out so bad, but he didn't plan, then, he was out the door. And so that happens so many times in life to us. So many times. We want these things, but we don't set down any roots. We don't plan anything. We don't invest. We don't even invest in ourselves. Then that is another part of failing to plan. because really failing to plan is planning to fail. Thank you, Tiffany, for joining us. Um, but that's something that we knew was a heavy topic, because there are so many people out here and there's so much going on in the world, and so many people that are losing their homes and different things. And some of that is failing to plan, some of that is just the economy and things that have happened, lifing, but if you plan for things, then it's always possible that it'll work out for you.
Let me add something to that. Um, there's a lot of people that don't like to talk about in life planning, even.
Yes.
Like I said, I had to start that thought and that plan at the age of 17. And then seeing people through life who have to struggle, a lot of young people haven't seen this yet, to even have a burial or cremation.
Yes.
Um, it is saddening because some of these people work all their lives, even make a good living, but they find out that they don't have uh, $10,000, $20,000 of disposable income for burial, or a few thousand even for cremation. Uh, it there's simple ways to even prepare for that. First, you prepare by talking about it, and then you go ahead and take action. You should never be a burden. That's something that I enjoyed about my mother. She always said when she was here, she never wanted to be a burden to anyone, and the end life. It took a while, but she was prepared. Nobody had to come out of pocket. Everything was taken care of. Uh, she was where she wanted to be at that time. That's important to some people. But that's just one of the ways of planning. Is we have to be able to talk about it, because I came from a family that traditionally didn't really talk about things like that.
Most of us.
Yeah, and my father's side, he was not prepared, and there was a lot of heartache behind it because of, and it's something that I hope, if anyone don't get anything out of this conversation, this discussion, is is to look ahead, start forecasting, start planning in life from
Yes.
beginning to end, because it's appointed unto man once to die, then the judgment. So we supposed to be prepared in everything we do in life. This is just a preparation. Uh, some of us, will see this world to the end, and some of us won't, and most of us won't. So just prepare.
So we're gonna bring it down to a practical level. We all know the Black Panther. We're talking about planning. Failing to plan is planning to fail. We're going to bring it down to a practical level. Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick, the Black Panther, he died and he knew he was dying, but he didn't even have a will. Didn't have a will. We got to stop that, y'all. We got to stop it. Now, he probably was good without life insurance. I don't know if he had that, but I know he didn't have a will. And there are so many other ones that have passed. This young rapper that just died didn't have life insurance. And I don't know if you guys know, but sometimes, these young rappers, they're out here rapping and we think that they have all this money, but they don't, because the industry, sucks them dry sometimes, until they get to a certain level. And so you have to consider that and think about that. And when I think about it, it's like, to me, that means you care and you love your family by being prepared for the end of life. That means that your family in they're grieving already, but they don't have to think about, how am I going to put them in the ground? They don't have to be doing these damn GoFundMe's and, reaching out to all the family and saying, we need $100, $200 so we can bury Uncle so and so. That just, we got to stop that. We have to stop it. And it's so rampant in the society, and it's so easy to remedy. You can get you a $10,000 life insurance policy that will put you in the ground. $5,000 would even allow your family to pay a down payment, and then they can pay the payments at the end of it if that's something. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can do it. So many ways. And we need to begin to do that and think about stuff like that, because to me, that is the greatest thing that you can do for your loved ones, is prepare and plan, so that won't be a burden on them. That was the most amazing thing that his mom did, was to not have, her kids thinking about, okay, how we going to put mom in the ground? Because that's a whole thing, especially when you have a big family, because it seems like nobody can agree. But if you put your affairs in order and you do what you need to do and plan, and this is not only just end of life, but this is everything. If you begin to put your affairs in order and you start planning and you put your stuff down on paper, then people will do, hopefully people will honor your wishes, but at least it'll be taken care of. And so that's one of the things that we wanted to speak on today, is making sure that you start thinking about this, because this is something that, especially in the African American community, we don't always consider that, and we don't always think about that. We're living for today. So how can we best, learn how to stop living for today and also plan for our tomorrows? Because just like my husband said, we all are appointed to die. So it's not like it's a choice whether you're going to. It's just when you're going to. And so you can either plan for it, or you can leave all that stuff to your family and they all fighting over whatever little bit of stuff you got, or if you got a lot of stuff or whatever. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? And we're here to just spread awareness about that today in this Sunday service. That this is something that we should do. We should really begin to think about what we want, because here's the thing. A lot of times people have specific wishes and specific things that they want, but if you haven't planned for it, you haven't written it down, you haven't told somebody, gave them something, then people don't know. So it's something that you got to do, and it's never too early to plan for that. Just like my husband said, at 17 he wrote his will. You think about it, 17, you don't even hardly have nothing. You don't even know, what you would leave to anybody, maybe. But you have to write your will when you go in the military, and because especially because they were at wartime. So we're here just to speak on that today, just to share that, let's start doing that, y'all. Let's start doing it. And let's not wait until you have dead, where it costs you a fortune in order to do. Let's start looking into that, and let's start looking at, writing our wills and things like that. And it doesn't mean just because you write your will, you're ready to die tomorrow. It just means that you are what? Planning. What you got to say, baby?
Exactly. One thing we do, we plan to go to work most of the days. We plan to wake up the next day, but a lot of times we don't plan in life. We don't plan for life itself.
Right.
And we don't teach our children and the people close to us. It's important to pass that on. A little bit of savings, a little bit of planning. And if you're not there yet, it's not too late.
Never too late.
People start these things late in life, but the earlier you start, the better off you are.
Right.
I've been blessed to forecast a lot of stuff in life and see how to go about investing and planning and knowing and reading forecasts, and kind of see how the world is taking us. And it's good to have that insight. You read, you listen to things, you follow your mindset, you follow your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You listen. You don't go out on a whim because it's not all about rolling the dice and shaking the dice and being lucky. Just plan.
Yes.
Tammy's good in that department also. If you know of her or know any of her links or look up any of her links, she's good in the planning field on the insurance side and other ways. Um, she's helped me, so I'm sure she's willing to help other people here and there.
Yes.
Um,
Because it's a thing, and it's almost epidemic, not only just in our community but in the world. Because many people just they don't have any plans. They're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants. Not taking care of that kind of business, and really, really sitting down with yourself. Because that really is the key. As you sit down with yourself and you begin to, understand who you are, what you want, where you're going in life, and then you can begin to plan to get there. And just like he said, it's never too late. You can always, turn the corner. You can always make those decisions. You can always make those changes. You just have to put it on your plate, because many times we have not even put that on our plate. We are living our life and we're not even thinking about none of that stuff. But it's here, y'all, and it's happening.
Keep in mind also that many of us don't think we're going to last that long on this planet. But regardless what society say, many of us are living longer and longer.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't prepare for that. I'm working a little longer in life, even though I have a good financial backing and good roots in that area, because I expect to live that long life. When you have a great grandmother that lived to 110 and your grandmother lived to over 100, and you have a mother that's been old and dying since she was in her 30s. That's the way my mother was. And she lived to like 85. You know longevity is right around the corner. So you have to really look at that. The fact that we are living longer. You have young people that are just like my mother. They say, "Oh, I won't live past 21. I won't live past 32." But what if?
Right.
And they say you can. What if you get hit by a car going across the street? But what if you don't?
Right.
So the just in case you survive this world and you live long, just prepare.
Yeah.
You'll feel much better. You'll be more confident in life. You have more peace.
Mm-hmm.
I go to work every day knowing that I don't have to go. I work constantly and get a check to know I can survive without that check. Uh, Once you get to that point in life, it's a certain amount of peace.
Yes.
When you have residual income.
Yes.
Uh, that's income that's consistent. You have a retirement.
Yes.
You have you can forecast and see other streams of income that's gonna come in at a certain age or what have you.
Right.
This is important in life. Many friends, many people that I was stationed with, many people that I know now don't have that luxury. And my life has been bumpy as far as relationship, what have you, before I met Tammy. But still, we're able to bounce back, recover,
Yes.
and prepare.
Yes.
You step back for the comeback.
Yes.
and
Yes.
and the comeback has been good. We've been blessed, and the Lord's showing us the world and showing us amazing things, and
favor.
yes, and everywhere we tread our feet, if we see something, it's ours.
Yes.
If we see something, we right now we're living our desires.
Yes.
If we desire something, we just go ahead and we touch and agree on it, and we go out and get it.
And that's master manifesting.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wherever you tread your feet, you know, and that's the way it should be.
Yes.
Um, and it's such a wonderful feeling. I I get overwhelmed just thinking about it. You know, going from knees to knees or paycheck to paycheck, and actually being at the point in life where, hey, I'm here. You're able to tell people I'm here because I want to be. A lot of people out, not a lot of people, but a few people I work with don't really want to be there. But I tell them I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to be here. You know, I have more to offer, so I'm here. And
Yes.
just plan people, and if if you fall back a little bit, just step back for the comeback
Yes.
because it's in front of you. You just have to go for it and just plan. All it takes is a little bit here and a little bit there. It don't have to be a lot. I think I started with less than 25% or 25% of my income at the time I was in the military. Of course, I didn't have family or nothing, but at the same time, I uh, I still practice that to to uh, to live off of a little as possible as far as the income. But now I don't even have to depend on that, so that's a blessing,
Yes.
and I'm just grateful.
Yes. 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 And gratefulness goes a long way. And that's another thing. Practice gratitude.
Right.
Practice gratitude. Right. Well, we thank y'all for joining us.
Yes.
It's been a blast.
We had a nice relaxing Sunday, and it's been peaceful.
Yes.
Uh, for those of you who worship today, happy Sunday. Those of
Yes.
you who worship the seventh day, Shabbat, happy Sabbath, and those of you who just worship, you know, salam and vaya con Dios.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us on Sunday Services with the Morrisons, talking about failing to plan, planning to fail, and how that affects you and how that affects your life, and hoping that we could inspire some of y'all to make sure that you're planning and that you're looking at your life, and not just floating through, airy fairy, just, wishing on a star and all this kind of stuff, but actually planning for your life and also your end of life. All right. So thank you for joining us. And I hope that your day is magical whenever you catch this, if you're on Facebook or YouTube.
Love and world peace, y'all.
Love and world peace. Bye now.